Hello, friends. So I hope this finds you well. And I wanted to chat about, because this is something that's come up a few times in the past week or two in different human design readings and things that I think can be really helpful for all of us, but especially for those of us who are self employed or entrepreneurs or however you associate with working for yourself or having a business. Is what I see is that there can be a lot of messaging in the entrepreneurial world around the basically like the fact that you're not successful unless you're making a lot of money, or the undertone being if you're making a lot of money then you're really successful at what you're doing. And so there's really, it feels like there's more of a strive for making a lot of money, and then like make that a lot of that money make like feel really good versus the other way around, versus the feeling really good and feeling in alignment and doing it in a way that feels really good and uplifting to you. So I want to give, and if this doesn't resonate, great, like amazing. I don't want this to resonate for a lot of people. However, I was really getting the download to share it today, so I'm going to share it because that's how I do things. So I want to give an alternative way of kind of plotting things out for you, or to recognize when you're on the right track, recognize when you're in alignment, recognize when you're going about things in a way that is in alignment and designed to who you are. So I'm going to be using some human design stuff here. And this shirt, the You Matter shirt, it's an Amber Lillystrom original. So if you're interested in getting your own You Matter shirt, I'd reach out to her. Um, so I want to talk about what's called the signature within human design. So every type, every energy type, and there's 5 energy types, have what's called a signature. And the signature is the signpost that says you're in alignment, you're in design. And so it's important to understand, and not every chart will say what the signature is. I don't know why this like little nugget gets hidden, but it's really important to understand what your signature is so that you can understand when you're on the right path, when you're leaning into the things that you're meant to. And I want to just like say from the beginning, we're not all motivated by money on the material plane. We're not all motivated to be seen on the material plane. We're not all motivated to make an impact. We're not all motivated to become this success of ourselves. And so it's really just allowing ourselves, if we can focus on this little nugget, because it's the easiest and most like general thing I can share with people without having to look at your specific chart or getting really detailed into things, to show you and to give you the awareness, to give you the indicators that like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm meant to lean into. This is my confirmation. Let's do it more this way. So I'm going to run through what the signature is for each of the types so that you have this indicator, this thing that you can become aware of, that as you go through your life, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, that you have these indicators to become aware of, to tell you like, this is your path, this isn't your path. Because especially when we're new to something, whether it's a new job, a new industry, you're doing self-employed, kind of you're owning your own business thing, that we start to listen to other people who've done it ahead of us because, well, they have the experience. And so like, we should do it their way and we should try it their way. And I'm not saying don't try it, don't do it other people's way. However, having this little indicator will help you in knowing if it is truly your way, if it's the way that you're meant to go. Because just because somebody makes $1 million or makes $100,000 this way doesn't mean that's how you do it, especially if you're different types, because that's going to play into it as well. So when we start with the manifestors, the manifestor signature is peace. So it's really identifying when you're feeling that inner peace, whether it's in an environment, it's in a situation, it's in maybe a program that you're giving, like you're coaching and you're just like feeling this peace around it. It can also be an external piece. So maybe it's just like your whole environment feels really peaceful, like just everything around you just feels so good. I'm getting full body goosebumps talking about this. So it's identifying, it's becoming aware of when do you as a manifester feel peace, and what are you doing in those moments, and how can you do more of those things? How can you lean more into those things so that you can experience peace more? For a generator, your signature is satisfaction or fulfillment, however you want to go about understanding that word. And so again, when are you feeling satisfied? When are you feeling fulfilled? When are you feeling filled up? And what's happening? What are you doing? What are the things that are happening around you? What are the things that are happening within you? What are you doing? How are things falling into place that is leading to you experiencing this satisfaction or this fulfillment? Again, it can be an external thing as well. For manifesting generators, because you're a mixture of a manifester and a generator, you are both. So you have two signatures. Your signature is both peace and satisfaction. So it's important to understand when you're experiencing both of them. Likely, you're going to experience them in different ways when they are in alignment to that type, and how you're living in alignment to that type, that part of you, that side of you. That is the manifester, or that is the generator. And if you're more of a manifester, manifesting generator, you're likely to experience peace more than satisfaction. And if you're more of a generator, manifesting generator, you're likely to experience satisfaction more than peace. Now, for projectors, you have all heard me say this a million times, we're a very special breed. Our signature as a projector is success. Now, where I said for manifestors, generators, and manifesting generators, that it's a lot of a feeling, right? They feel peace, they feel satisfied. For us, success, yes, of course, we can feel successful. However, a lot of it is going to be an external validation to you of success. So what becomes really important for you as a projector is to get really clear on what does success actually look like, feel like, sound like for you. Because success isn't just financial abundance. Success isn't just having the title. Success isn't just working at this like amazing company, right? Whatever it so becomes, so like this is important for everybody. However, so important for a projector, because if you don't understand what success actually looks like, feels like, sounds like for you, then it's going to be difficult for you to identify when you're in alignment and when you're experiencing your signature, right? So for me, I'm a projector. A lot of success, right, for me is time freedom, being able to work when I want to work, being able to not work when I don't want to work. It's living in nature. So the fact that I can, like, literally yesterday in a human design reading, a bald eagle was flying outside my window, and I get to have all of these animal visits during sessions with people. That's something that's really important to me. Being able to go to a national forest, which is like a half a mile walk away, really important to me. Being in nature, being part of nature, being immersed in it is a big part of my success, with having the freedom to be able to go experience that. Another part of my success is being able to spend time with my animals. I have had the big corporate jobs and they paid really well and had the title and all the things. And I didn't get to, like, I had my dog at home for hours and hours and hours a day. And I would be thinking, what kind of life is that for him? Like, why do I have him if I'm never home, if I'm like rarely with him? So being able to spend time with my animals is a big part. Oh, speaking of animals speaking to me, deer running across the river, like not through the river, but on the other side of the river on the ground and making noises. I'm not sure what's happening out there. So this is success. Like this for me is an identifier, is an indicator of success. I had to stop and go look at them and see all the things. This is success. Like this is thank you, universe. This shows me that I'm on the right path. This like literal experience. So for projectors, really get honest with yourself of what is success from your soul. Not does what does society, wow, what, it's not what does society define as success, or what does your parents define as success, or what do your friends define as success, or what does your coach define as success? What do you, as the projector, define as success? That's your indicator. That's your definition. That's what you go for. And yes, it likely will evolve, especially as you decondition and you get closer and closer to being your full, truly authentic self. Now, for reflectors, your signature is surprise and delight. So for reflectors, it's really being able to identify when you're caught off guard by like, oh, this magical thing just happened, or I get to experience this new way of being, or I get to experience this situation, this environment that feels so uplifting, and all of this variety is kind of in front of me, and this feels really fun and exciting and delightful. And when I worked at Apple, we talked about, so at Apple, I worked with the watch. Anyway, I worked to help essentially the products not leak before and like be made public before Apple got on stage and said, this is the new product. And we called that surprise and delight. And so that's really what the reflector, that's your identifier of when you're in alignment, when you're in design, when you're doing the things that you're meant to be doing, is when you're just like, oh, like, this is so cool. Like you're just like in awe, essentially, of your life and of what's happening and what's going on. And so being able to identify that is going to be so helpful so that you can then lean into that and then continue doing that as well. So it just becomes so important for all of us to learn about who we are, to understand us, to understand what makes us tick, and then not to project that onto other people. And not to say, well, you should do this, or you should do that, or this should be your identifier, this should be your thing, or even expecting that they can do things the same way that you can, because we're all different. I just had this conversation with a human design client the other day about, I forget exactly what it was. I want to say, what was it? I'm going to say it was gate 11. I don't know if it was gate 11, but we're going to go with gate 11. And gate 11 is receiving ideas. So like being an idea fountain. And it wasn't that, but that's okay. We'll use this as the example anyway. And she was like, oh, can't everybody do that? Like, no, like that's the thing. Not everybody is an idea fountain. There's only, some of us and not all of us. And it's being able to identify that, oh, got it. Like this is what's unique, and this is what is specific to me, but doesn't mean that everybody else can do it too. And so I'm going to start to like really embody and ground into myself of what I can do, and leave space and room for what other people can do, and not think that I'm less than if I can't, and not think that they're less than if they can't, and just know that we're all here to do things together, and it's perfect and it's beautiful and it's all the things. So I hope this was helpful. It's just a little bit of maybe a way to like my brain hasn't been working for the last few weeks, so I apologize, but to like change your perspective and to see things in a different light that maybe will help you, and maybe will feel a little bit uplifting and good, and a different way of doing it that just maybe feels a little bit more empowering. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Okay, bye.